Cherry Malarney, 41, and Eric Malarney, 44, from Oklahoma City, have been married for 9 years. They had 3 sons together before Cherry became pregnant with their first daughter. Due to her age, she was considered a high-risk pregnancy. Baby Aris was due on March 27th this year, but on November 19th, 2021, Cherry developed preeclampsia, a disorder of pregnancy characterized by high blood pressure. She was rushed to Oklahoma Children's Hospital. The couple had only found out the week prior that they were expecting a baby girl. Suddenly, Cherry's dreams of a happy pregnancy, complete with a baby shower and maternity photo shoot, were dashed. I woke up at 6 a.m. bleeding. After having uncontrollable high blood pressure for a couple of days, the doctor recommended that I deliver, but my heart wouldn't let me. A doctor told me I would have to stay in the hospital until my due date. I was unprepared, but willing and ready to do whatever it took, she said in an interview. The next day in the hospital, Cherry's blood pressure increased. Doctors again recommended she deliver, but warned that her baby girl would not make it. She told the doctor, "My baby girl is strong, and I feel her moving all the time." However, the doctors explained that babies that size just don't survive. As soon as the doctors left the room, she immediately fell to the floor and prayed to God. Thinking of her husband and sons, and the fact that she risked a life-threatening hemorrhage, Cherry agreed to an emergency cesarean section. Prayer gave her and Eric the strength to hope their baby would survive. They pleaded with doctors, "Do everything you can to save her." Aris was delivered on November 23, 2021, at 22 weeks and 2 days gestation. She weighed just 12.5 ounces, 0.35 kilograms, and was rushed to the Neonatal Intensive Care Unit, or NICU, where doctors predicted she would not survive beyond 48 hours. If she did, they said, she would not have any quality of life and not be able to walk, talk, run, or do the things that most kids do. But the miracle baby Aris had other ideas. Cherry said that seeing their baby girl for the first time was one of their proudest moments in life. She was strong like we said she was, Cherry said. It was also the scariest time of our entire life, but once we made it past those first 48 hours, we knew that God was going to keep her. She is a blessing from above. Eric was the first to visit their daughter in the NICU. Cherry, heavily medicated after the birth, first saw her little girl 24 hours later. It was touch and go for the first 2 days. Aris was resuscitated twice on Thanksgiving. Both times, Cherry and Eric were called in to say goodbye. "I screamed and prayed to God while they were working on her," Cherry said. In late December, Aris contracted necrotizing enterocolitis, which caused an intestinal blockage and her lungs to collapse every day in the month of January. She had numerous blood transfusions and a stomach drain placed to empty her bowel. She contracted sepsis and meningitis. After a grade 4 brain bleed and hydrocephalus, she had a shunt fitted, and has since had 12 surgeries to fix malfunctions or infections caused by the shunt. But Aris has overcome every obstacle. She's even earned herself a reputation among her nurses for being feisty. After 2 weeks of Aris being in the NICU, Cherry began sharing her daughter's progress on social media with family and friends, who pray together. "I believe without our faith she would not be here," Cherry said. "My family has been praying non-stop from the moment I found out I had to deliver. She has defeated the odds every step of the way. She has done everything they said she wouldn't do from the moment she was born." Aris remained on an oxygen ventilator for her first 7 months of life, and at the time of Cherry's interview, had spent 318 days in the NICU. Cherry has spent up to 8 hours at the hospital every day, all while managing her home and homeschooling her 6-year-old, while Eric works to pay their impending medical bills. It's mentally exhausting. "For months, I would get anxious every time my phone rang," Cherry said. "Being in here feels like being on a roller coaster ride, and no one will stop and let you off." But Cherry balances the stress of Aris's ups and downs by focusing on the precious moments, like dressing up her baby in beautiful clothes with a matching bow and taking photos. Iris needs one more shunt revision, a feeding tube, and laser eye surgery for ROP eye disease, a condition that can lead to blindness in preemies with very low birth weights. The couple's main concerns are Iris's brain damage, seizures, hydrocephalus, and chronic lung disease. She may also have cerebral palsy. But amid constant blood work, MRIs, ultrasounds, surgeries, and visits with therapists and specialists, Cherry describes her now 10-month-old, 18-pound daughter as the sweetest and strongest little baby in the whole world. She is unfazed by anything, she said. Every time Iris gets close to a discharge date, something comes up. At the time of the interview, she has a blood clot and will spend her first birthday in the hospital. But Cherry hopes her baby will head home before the year is out. Her family is finally at a place of healing instead of surviving.